I mentioned in one of the earlier videos that I had recently gone to see the Auschwitz exhibit at the Reagan Library. And one of the things that was interesting to me was how they explained kind of how it came about that the Jews were able to be targeted for extermination. And one of the things the exhibit explained was that kind of the first step in that process was to make the Jews the other. To kind of, there was this process of othering, of making it us against them, of saying we're like this, but they're like that. And as that happened, and more people kind of began to see the Jewish people as other, then it became easier to go along with the restrictions that were initially placed, the moves that were made into, and even the camps. So it got me thinking about this idea of othering. You know, the Bible would be very much against that process. It teaches us that we're all made in the image of God, that we all have value because of that, that Jesus died for all of us. And Paul tells us this: do nothing from selfishness or empty conceit, but with humility of mind regard one another as more important than yourselves. Do not merely look out for your own personal interests, but also for the interests of others. The biblical principle is not that we are to make people other, that it's us against them, but that we are to look out for the interests of others. That even those who are different than we are, even those that we don't have a natural connection with, even those that we hold different opinions than, that we are to look out for their interests. And when we look out for the interests of others, it becomes more difficult to see them as other. And it becomes easier to see them in the way that God intends for us to see them, as people who are created in his image, who have value, who Jesus died to save, and who one day will be with us in heaven as part of that great crowd around God's throne.